to you. I went to get my pedicure this morning from Nam, the Korean lady. Do men always have to solve things with their fists? We women do more damage by talking behind somebody's back than hitting them in the face.
Can you believe Karen Molina White was nearly booted off Malcolm and Eddie, and it wasn't even her fault? Yep, you heard that right. The drama behind the scenes can get real messy real fast. Curious about the deets and who came to her rescue? Well, you're in luck because we're about to spill all the tea on what went down, straight from Karen Molina White herself.
You need some help?
No, I got it.
You need some help now?
Let's dive into the details and uncover the not-so-pretty truth behind the glitz and glam. Who doesn't love a good behind-the-scenes scoop, especially when it comes with a side of heroics?
As much as I like to practice my domestic violence intervention technique, I think you both need to sit down and ask yourselves why you married each other in the first place.
Were you captivated by the dynamic duo of Malcolm and Eddie? Chances are you were. Yet behind the scenes, the experience wasn't all laughs and good times for Karen Molina White. Immersed in her role as Nicolette, she found herself on the receiving end of relentless jibes from Eddie, who didn't shy away from branding her ugly on national television. This wasn't just scripted banter. It was a series of barbs aimed directly at her appearance and her vulnerabilities. This constant on-screen ridicule had real-world repercussions for White. The aftermath of her time on Malcolm and Eddie saw a noticeable decline in her television appearances. It's a stark reminder of how words, even those in character, can leave a lasting impact on a person's career and self-esteem.
It's part of the journey, but I think too, for me personally, I took a lot of hits on Malcolm and Eddie because my character was called ugly a lot, and it pushed my buttons, my personal buttons. You know, that little girl with the 4C hair, who was it, you know, and your next audition with all that stuff. You show up a little more desperate, you show up, am I cute enough? Is my hair straight enough? Do I got too much weight? You know, all of those things. As much as you're trying to, you know, not come in the room with that, you do.
The work pressure was so intense that it was affecting her happiness. Then, she found solace in Buddhism. It was almost as if she found a key piece she had been missing.
Nichiren Buddhism, it teaches you that your happiness is on the inside. But I was able to see that everything, all of my happiness was tied to things outside me, whether it was my relationship or whether it was booking a job. When I was booking a job, I was happy. When I wasn't, I started getting depressed, a little anxious. When I learned about a concept we call absolute happiness, where, you know, it has nothing to do with your environment or anything outside yourself. And when I really started to study.
Starring in Malcolm and Eddie was not just a tough job. She almost got fired from the show for being black. Did that sound right? Malcolm and Eddie became a success because of black talent. And later, the producers wanted to let Karen White go because she was black. Karen made it clear in an interview later on.
That was the trend, you know, using, you know, black talent to build up the network and build up the following and make money off us and then get rid of us.
Malcolm and Eddie TV show was the height of her career, but it was also the lowest point in her professional life because her job had to be saved by her boyfriend. She was playing Nicolette in the series, and after season 3, the producers wanted to demote her, giving lesser prominence to her character.
Kind of a low for me too, because by season 3, they wanted to change it up. They wanted to add some white guys. They wanted to demote me. I was dating Malcolm Jamal Warner at the time, and he was like, I can't go home and tell my girlfriend she's fired. So they had to compromise in the amount of episodes I got, and then I had to kind of prove myself again that I was, you know, worthy to be on the show.
Well, folks, you can imagine how she felt. It was like the black talent was not enough. You have to have the right boyfriend too. Years later, looking back at her career, Karen said, it's okay to fail. Showbiz is a tricky business, but if acting is in your heart and your passion, you will eventually learn to ride the wave. You know, it's an up and down business. Everybody has their own journey. Everybody's career does not look the same.
Don't compare your career to somebody else's, but just keep going. It's just a privilege and honor, and I'm very fortunate to get to do what I want and to make a living at it.
There is a lot of wisdom in her thoughts. Don't you agree? Karen Molina White was born in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania on July 7, 1965, into a family of 4 siblings and a working single mother. Her mother was the first to notice that little Karen was into acting. She used to talk to walls and create fictional characters. And during the summer, Karen play acted school. So when her mother found out about the opening of the Philadelphia High School for Creative and Performing Arts, she immediately thought it was the place for little Karen. Do you want to hear something interesting? Karen Molina White wanted to be a nun once. She said,
I remember they came to our school recruiting to be nuns. There was an all-black nun called Oblate Sisters of Providence who were in Baltimore, Maryland. So I went for a weekend and stayed in a convent. So they were heavily recruiting.
But that summer, Karen met her first boyfriend, which changed her plans for sisterhood. Maybe she was not being called for sisterhood as she thought. After graduating high school, she earned a fine arts degree from Howard University. There was no denying her beauty. Even as a university student, she won the title Miss Howard University in her senior year, which helped her land her first acting role in Lean on Me. While Lean on Me became a classic, she didn't stop at television or movies. Karen White loved theater and always made it a point to work on theater and voice work in between jobs. She joined a classical theater company because she got roles she would not get to play on television. She thought theater separated men from boys. A little bit harsh, don't you think? Even while starring in Malcolm and Eddie, she had a theater gig, Crumbs from the Table of Joy, at the same time. It was a hectic schedule because she was traveling back and forth from Santa Monica to the South Coast, doing the play and coming back to shoot the TV show. But she earned $800 weekly, which was good money for a theater gig back then. White was passionate about the most unlikely things for an actress. She started learning American Sign Language at 15, but her passion came to her help when she was doing the Dahmer series, playing the mother of deaf Anthony Hughes. And she did a superb job with it too. All right now, Karen met 6 feet 1 inch tall Malcolm Jamal Warner from The Cosby Show on the set of Malcolm and Eddie. They knew each other from The Cosby Show and they became good friends. And as she calls it,
yeah, it started out as friends. I mean, of course I knew him from Cosby Show, but I think we're 7 years apart. So when he was on Cosby Show, he was like a little boy. I didn't pay him any mind. But as we got older, you know, numbers that feel like they're closer in age. But that was kind of, I never really dated. I always wound up dating somebody that I was working with. So you'd be friends and then next thing you know, okay, so what we doing? So that's how that kind of evolved. But yeah, we were always good friends.
Dating Malcolm was sometimes difficult because they were working together and he was always attracting girls.
He always had a girlfriend, so women, you know, so that was a little bit, you know, get my feathers ruffled.
Was there a rule behind that? Like, hey, could he kiss the
Yeah, that's his job. He had to. That was his job. So it was, you know, you got to do your own personal work, but it wasn't the easiest situation, but we made it work.
And Malcolm was not making it easy either. Long after The Cosby Show ended, he revealed that he had a crush on Lisa Bonet, who played his sister in The Cosby Show. Adding more flavor, Malcolm admitted he never had a shot. Even at 14, he knew he had no chance of dating Lisa Bonet. Karen Molina White and Malcolm Jamal Warner were together for 7 long years. So many thought they were married. But Karen was never married. Malcolm Jamal Warner has moved on to a relationship with Regina King since 2011, but there are rumors that Malcolm broke up with Regina King on Valentine's Day. And here's one thing you never knew about Karen White. She was the voice behind Dejanay Jones in the Disney animated series The Proud Family, Louder and Prouder. Yes, she is the girlfriend who can get on your nerves and love you at the same time. Yes, Dejanay Jones is black and she is a troublemaker.
You a man now, baby. A grown man. Ooh.
Did people love the dark-skinned girl with a terrible attitude? It's debatable, as a petition with 17,000 signatures calling for the show's cancellation was on change.org. After breaking up with Malcolm, Karen White focused on her career. She never came publicly with reasons for splitting from her longtime partner and kept her love life private. Maybe Karen's practice of Buddhism helped her to stay steady in troubled times. Karen Molina White has a net worth of $1 million. She is 58 and lives a happy, content life with her family. What's your favorite movie of Karen? Did any of this surprise you? Comment down below.